besides all the rain that we get here in Washington, what else makes Washington unique? In this video, we'll weave in volcanoes, critters, a little bit about water, some other things. I'm Dirk with Dirk Properties here at Keller, Tacoma. I'm a realtor for 20 years. This channel is about what I know best, living, working, and playing here in the Tacoma-Puget Sound area. Let's go. Let's start with the 10,000 foot view. A lot of people think that all of Washington is green with big trees, cloudy all day and rainy. However, we have a set of mountains called the Cascades. They go north-south. They bisect Washington State east-west. The west side is the green side. It's the wet side. The east side is the dry side, more or less the brown side. There are two different sides. The east side is where our apples come from, our cherries, and all those grapes that make Washington State wine. They come from the east side. That's where the Columbia Plateau is. It pulls in all the water from up from the part of the Canadian Rockies, our Rockies. The Snake River heads water is in the Yellowstone, goes into Columbia. So even though it's semi-arid land on the east side, you have tons of water for irrigation. Now on the west side, the wet side, that's where the bulk of the people in Washington State live. That's where Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, Everett, those are the major cities. Volcanoes. The volcano that most everybody's seen either on a postcard, Monday Night Football, or on a TV show is Mount Rainier. It's kind of in between Seattle and Tacoma. It's part of the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is a zone that goes all the way, more or less, around the Pacific Ocean, North, South America, over into Asia. And that's where volcanoes and earthquakes happen. So we've got Mount Rainier, which is the most notable. And if you drive I-5 north or south, you'll see Mount Baker, which is 10,000 feet, Mount Adams, which is 12,000 feet. Rainier's 14. And then we did have a happening about 40 years ago, 1980. That's when Mount St. Helens put us on the map when that volcano blew. So everything else is dormant right now, but we do live in the Ring of Fire, and the volcanoes are part of a mountain system called the Cascade Mountains. Piece of trivia, in its frozen form, water is called ice. The largest glacier outside of Alaska is on Mount Rainier. If you are a skier that likes to earn your turns, you can climb on up in the summertime and then ski on down. Now that we know there's a west side and east side that are night and day different, night and day. As you're looking for Tacoma area, Seattle, now we're going to focus on the west side, the climate. I've touched upon in other videos, so I won't go too much in depth. Right now here, it's like 75 degrees. It's the middle of July. It's wonderful. And you can do everything that you want, unless you want to lay by the pool and get fried. The bulk of the United States is smoking hot right now. Right here, again, you can play golf, go for a run, virtually do anything. This is in July. It doesn't rain very much in the summertime. The bulk of our rain, what makes this world famous, is that we get 40 inches of rain a year-ish. 50% of our rain comes in November, December, January. So that's 3 months. 75% comes in 6 months. October, November, December, January, February, March. So come the other time of the year, it rains a lot less. And it's very dry. So it's the timing of things. Yes, we get rain, but most of the time it's in the winter. Again, I touch upon it on other videos. But getting back to the climate here, it's very moderate here in the winter and moderate in the summer. The east side is colder and hotter. Critters. Regarding those, we're pretty tame around here. We don't have alligators chasing you or great whites coming after you. We do have orcas out there in the water, but they're fish eaters. They eat the salmon, the local pods. The transient killer whales that blow through here every 4 or 5 years, it seems, those specialize in eating the whales. They'll come through and clear out all the harbor seals and then disappear for 4 or 5 years. Snakes on the west side don't exist. We have little slithering gardener snakes, but the bitey ones, the poisonous one like cottonmouths or rattlesnakes, there are no snakes on the west side. They're on the east side, but there are no snakes on the west side. We also, on the west side, we don't have scorpions or tarantulas. We do have what we call banana slugs, and they will attack your tomato plants, and my grandma used to go after them with a little stick and salt. That's how she would kill them. Bugs. The worst I could say would be mosquitoes. Mosquitoes up next to the alpine lakes or the big woods, they'll get thick and come after you. Here in Tacoma or in the cities, I've never had a problem. I go out to my home away from home at Point Defiance Park. It's 700 acres. I can walk or run and never get hassled. If I sit in one spot for maybe 15 minutes, then they start checking me out. But it's nothing like when I grew up in Virginia. The only other critter you gotta watch out for, but you have to go way back into the deep dark woods, is Sasquatch and his cousin Bigfoot. They're pretty quiet most of the time, but they might see you, but likely you won't see them. Another part that's unique to Washington State is the Puget Sound. It's the second biggest estuary in the United States. Chesapeake Bay is the biggest, and no matter where you are, I mean, I had a friend that came up from Texas, and he always wanted to call it a lake. And I'm like, hey, it's salt water. It's connected to the ocean. It's not a lake. Anyway, he couldn't get it out of his mind. It can almost feel like a lake because you can always see land on the other side. There's islands or it's small channels, but you can always see land. So it's not like you're at an ocean, Hawaii, California, or New Jersey, and it's an ocean of desert. There's always a backdrop of land to break up the water. So the Puget Sound is great for boating, kayaking, crabbing, whatnot, getting on out there. If white sand is a passion of yours, you won't find it in the Puget Sound. The Puget Sound, it's virtually all gray sand. Most of the beaches are smooth rock, pea gravel, bigger rock covered. If you like the white crystal sand, you have to go out on the coast, on the ocean where the big waves are. But within Puget Sound, for the most part, it's rocky beach. But the good thing is there, you don't have to pull sand out of your nether regions. If you have comments, feel free to put them below. If you want to reach me, call me, text me, or email me. Till the next one.